Dear Prabhu, welcome to the morning Srīmad Bhāgavatam class. So we'll just continue reading from yesterday. So yesterday, text 13 we looked at. I'll just read the translation again. My dear Lord, it is said that when the three planetary systems are merged into the water at the time of dissolution, your plenary portion, Narayana, lies down on the water. Gradually, a lotus flower grows from his navel, and Brahma takes birth upon the lotus flower. Certainly, these words are not false. Thus, am I not born from you? My apologies yesterday. I think I must be dyslexic. What was the word called? Dyslexia. I pronounced or read it in a wrong way. So actual reading is, thus am I not born from you. So Brahmaji is accepting here Krishna, who is the original Narayana, as his supreme father, supreme mother. Translation of text 14. Are you not the original Narayana, O supreme controller, since you are the soul of every embodied being and the eternal witness of all created realms? Indeed, Lord Narayana is your expansion, and he is called Narayana because he is the generating source of the primeval water of the universe. He is real, not a product of your illusory Maya. Would anyone like to read the purport, please?
Can I read, Prabhu?
Yes, Mataji, go.
In the Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 2, text 30, Srila Prabhupada comments on this verse as follows. This statement was spoken by Lord Brahma in his prayers to Lord Krishna after the Lord defeated him by displaying his mystic powers. Brahma had tried to test Lord Krishna to see if he was really the Supreme Personality of Godhead playing as a cowherd boy. Brahma stole all the other boys and their cows from the pasturing grounds. But when he returned to the pastures, he saw that all the boys and cows were still there. Lord Brahma had created them all again. Lord Krishna had created them all again. When Brahma saw this mystic power of Lord Krishna, he admitted the defeat and offered prayers to the Lord, addressing him as the proprietor and seer of everything in the creation, as the super soul, who is within each and every living entity and is dear to all. Lord Krishna is Narayan, the father of Brahma. Because Lord Krishna's plenary expansion, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, after placing himself on Garbha ocean, created by Brahma from his own body. Mahavishnu in the causal ocean is Kshirodakshaya Vishnu, the super soul in everyone's heart, are also transcendental expansion of the supreme truth. In the commentary of this verse, Srila Sanatana Goswami has also elaborately explained the expansion of the Vishnu or Narayana incarnations from the original form of the Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. The essence is that although Lord Brahma was born from Lord Narayan, Brahma now understands that Narayan is himself a mere expansion of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, Lord Shri Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you so much, Mataji. So the last sentence of this paper, Brahma now understands that Narayana is himself a mere expansion of the original personality of Godhead, Lord Shri Krishna. So one of the reasons Brahma becomes bewildered, because this form of Krishna, he has not seen it before. He knows the personality of Godhead to be Narayana. And originally, when Lord Brahma is born, then as we will look in the future purports, he meditates and the form of the Lord is revealed to him. This paper is quite self-explanatory, that we have to understand that although Narayana or Vishnu are Purusha incarnations for the purpose of maintaining the material universes and the material world, but they are still transcendental and they are not a product of material nature. Let's look at a word to word of this verse. Narayana, the Supreme Lord Narayana, Tvam, you, na, not, he, whether, Sarva, of all, Dehinam, embodied living beings, Atma, the Supersoul, Asi, you are, Adhisha, O Supreme Controller. So this word is very significant. We have to understand that Lord Narayana is Adhisha, the Supreme Controller of Akhila, of all Loka planets. So Adhisha Akhila Loka, he is the supreme controller of all the planets. So he controls everything. Nothing is within our control actually. Sakshi, and on top of that, he is the witness as well of all of our auspicious and inauspicious activities. Narayana, Lord Sri Narayana, Angam, the expanded plenary portion, Nara, from the Supreme Personality, Bhu, originating, Jala, of water, Ayanad, because of being the manifesting source, Tat, that expansion, Cha, and Api, indeed, Satyam, true, Na, not, Tava, your, Eva, at all, Maya, illusory energy. Let's go on to text number 15. Narayanam namaskritya naram chaiva narottamam devim saraswatim vyasam tato jayam mudirayet. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Om namo bhagavate vasudevaya. Rache jalashtam tavasad jagat vapu. Kim me nadrashtam bhagavam stadaiva. Kim va sudrishtam vidime tadaiva. Kim no sapadyeva punarvyadarshi. Translation. My dear Lord, if your transcendental body, which shelters the entire universe, is actually lying upon the water, then why were you not seen by me when I searched for you? And why, though I could not envision you properly within my heart, did you then suddenly reveal yourself? Anyone would like to read the paper, please?
I'll read, Prabhu.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
Lord Brahma here refers to his experience at the dawn of cosmic creation. As described in the second canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, Lord Brahma took birth on the seat of a giant lotus whose stem emanated from the navel of Narayana. Brahma was bewildered as to his whereabouts, functions, and identity, and therefore he tried to trace out the source of the lotus stem, searching for clear information. Unable to find the personality of Godhead, he returned to his seat and engaged in severe austerities, having been ordered to do so by the transcendental voice of the Lord, who could be heard but not seen. After long meditation, Brahma saw the Lord, but then again lost sight of him. Thus, Brahma concludes that the transcendental body of the personality of Godhead is not material, but rather an eternal, spiritual, and endowed with inconceivable mystic potencies. In other words, Lord Brahma should not have challenged the personality of Godhead, the Lord of all mystic power. Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna. So here in the paper, we see how Lord Brahma's birth is touched. So when Lord Brahma is born, then all that Lord Brahma surveys is waters of devastation. And just imagine you are in the middle of ocean in a boat alone, and there's no one else, but just vast ocean which seems insurmountable without beginning and without end. How depressing that condition would be. So Brahmaji naturally asks the question, who am I, where I have come from? And then he used his material intelligence to conclude that because I'm coming from this lotus flower, it seems that the source of my birth will also be determined if I go down the lotus stem to find where the source is. That is true. However, when Brahmaji went down the lotus stem, he traveled for billions and billions of years. And finally, he would not find the end of the lotus stem and his source of creation. And being despondent and depressed, he came back and sat on the lotus flower. And then he concluded that this is something beyond me. This is Vibhum. Vibhum means the greatness of Lord. So whoever my source is very big and beyond the apprehension of my puny intelligence. Thinking like that in mode of helplessness, Brahmaji prayed, please, whoever the supreme source of mine is, give me direction so that I know what is to be done. And at that time, Lord Krishna, through Shabda Brahma, spoke 3 words, tapa, tapa, tapa. And Brahmaji underwent severe austerities to meditate on the Supreme Lord. And eventually, very, quickly, the Supreme Lord revealed himself to Lord Brahma. And Brahmaji could see the Lord face to face. And therein, the Supreme Lord imparted the knowledge of Srīmad Bhāgavatam to Brahmaji through heart. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavaye. Now, this Bhāgavatam is known as Chatur Shloki Bhāgavatam, 4 ways Bhāgavatam. It comes in 2nd canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam. And from these 4 verses, Vyasadeva, due to inspiration of Narad Muni, expanded into 18,000 verses. However, the original seed verses that Lord Narayana gave Brahmaji was 4 verses of Srīmad Bhāgavatam. Now, one thing to understand, to know how insignificant Lord Brahma is, even though he's a great personality. So when we do a measurement of time factor, then we know, as per Srīmad Bhāgavatam and Bhagavad Gita, the 4 yugas are there. There is the Satyuga, made up of 1.728 million years. Then there is Treta Yuga, made up of 1.296 million years. Then there is Dwapara Yuga, made up of 864,000 years, and then Kali Yuga, 432,000 years. Now, all these 4 combined make up 3.42 million years. That is one cycle of 4 yugas known as Chatur Yuga. Now, when this Chatur Yuga is multiplied by 1,000, then it is called 1 Divya Yuga, and that 1 Divya Yuga is 1 day of Brahma, which is equal to 4.32 billion years. It is 1 kalpa of Brahma, meaning the daytime of Brahma, 12 hours of Brahma, 4.32 billion years. Now, similarly, there is 1 night of Brahma, which is 4.32 billion years. Together, this makes up 24 hours of Brahma. And in total, this means that night of Brahma, day of Brahma is 8.64 billion years. Now, when the day of Brahma ends and the night starts, then there is partial dissolution, meaning the waters of devastation, they cover up to Satyaloka. Satyaloka is not inundated, but it goes up to there. And Brahmaji actually goes to sleep. And when Brahmaji wakes up after 4.32 million years, then Brahmaji forgets how to create, what he has to do. So after each day, after each night of sleep, Brahmaji has to pray earnestly. So in 3rd canto of Srīmad Bhāgavatam, chapter 9, we have another set of prayers of Brahmaji, which is Brahma's prayers for creative energy. And therein, Brahmaji clarifies the Supreme Lord because he still remembers that, yes, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, but he asks for the introspection on how to create. At the same time, he expresses his gratitude to the Lord, and he says, everything, my Lord, will be done through your internal potency. I'm just an instrument. At the same time, he asks for the mercy of the Lord that in course of this creation, may I not be overcome by pride. At the same time, he takes on a resolution that while he is doing his activity, may he not deviate from glorification and recitation of Vedas, which glorify Krishna. And for us, this is very important because no one is as busy as Brahma in this universe. And yet, Brahmaji takes out time to glorify Krishna. So, how much it should apply to us that no matter what our schedule is, we take out half an hour, 1 hour every day to read Srīmad Bhāgavatam and chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And in the last verse of those prayers, Brahmaji very nicely is also waking up the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He says that please open your eyes and smile upon us. And smilingly, please speak your sweet direction. And please remove our despondency, who we are so anxious on what is to be done. So similarly, every day, we may have a huge task list, for office, for homework, for various things that needs to be done. And it may seem insurmountable at times. However, if daily we make Krishna our first priority, then we'll be amazed that how Krishna takes charge of everything and we simply become instruments in doing those activities, and how smoothly and without obstacles those things are done. However, if we don't depend on Krishna, then those simple things become very difficult. Now, going back to the calculation of time of Brahma's life, then that 8.64 billion years, which makes up 1 day, 24 hours of Brahma, when we multiply it by 360 days, that is 3.11 trillion years, that makes 1 year of Brahma. And when that 1 year of Brahma is multiplied by 100, that makes it 311 trillion 40 billion years. That is the lifespan of Brahma. 311 trillion 40 billion years. That's how old Brahmaji becomes. However, when we compare it to Lord Vishnu, all this is simply one exhaling breath of Lord Vishnu. 311 trillion 40 billion years of Brahma's lifespan is just an exhaling breath of Lord Vishnu. And after 311 trillion 40 billion years, when Lord Vishnu, Mahavishnu breathes again, then total devastation happens and everything goes back in the Lord's abdomen. So that's how, we can see how magnanimous and great Lord Vishnu is, and how insignificant, even though great Lord Brahma is in his own right, but still it doesn't amount to anything when there is a comparison with Lord Krishna or Lord Vishnu. Any questions or comments on this? Let's go on to text 16. Atraiva Maya-dhamana Manavatare Yasya Prapanchasya Bahi Sputasya Kritsnasya Chantar Jatare Jananya Maya Tvameva Prakriti Kritam Te Maya Tvameva Prakati Kritam Te. Translation. My dear Lord, in this incarnation, you have proved that you are the supreme controller of Maya. Although you are now within this universe, the whole universal creation is within your transcendental body. A fact you demonstrated by exhibiting the universe within your abdomen before your mother Yashoda. Can anyone read the paper, please?
Prabhuji, I can read.
Please, Mataji, go ahead.
But Lord Brahma here describes the inconceivable spiritual potency of the Lord. We may find a pot within a house, but we can hardly expect to find the house within the same pot. By the Lord's spiritual potency, however, he can appear within this universe and simultaneously exhibit all the universes within his body. One may argue that since the universes seen by Mother Yashoda within Lord Krishna's abdomen were within the Lord's body, they are different from the illusory material universes manifest externally. Here, Lord Brahma refutes that argument. However, Lord Krishna is Maya-dhamana, the supreme controller of illusion. By the Lord's own supreme mystic potency, he can bewilder even illusion herself. And thus the Lord actually exhibited all the material universes within his body. This is Mayatvam, the supreme bewildering potency of the personality of Godhead. Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Thank you so much. So here we see that the Lord is Maya-dhamana, the supreme controller of illusion. And by Lord's own supreme mystic potency, he can bewilder even Maya herself. The Lord actually exhibited all material universes within his body. This Maya-tvam, the supreme bewildering potency of personality of Godhead. Srila Prabhupada, in one of the morning talks, he's explaining that there are two categories of potency of Maya. One is Pratyaksha Atmika Shakti, which means the throwing potency of Maya. So here, Lord Krishna, he did a throwing potency on Lord Brahma. And to us also, it happens. When we come to Krishna consciousness, then Maya will say, why are you coming to Krishna consciousness? What's the need? These people are stupid. They wake up early in the morning. They don't eat meat. They don't drink alcohol. They don't do so many material activities that you can't just live without. So this is Prekshep Atmika Shakti. Or even when we are doing devotional service, we are tired. Maya will say, it's okay to rest. You don't have to go so hard on yourself. Take it easy. And when we take it easy, they say, the saying in Hindi goes, you give a finger and she will hold your hand. And by the time she holds your hand, she will just grab you and give you few slaps here and there. This is Maya. Krishna bahir mukhe jiva bhogavansha khare, nikate stamaya khade chapatiya thare. We get slaps here and there. Then there is Avarna Atmika Shakti. Avarna Atmika Shakti means the covering potency of Maya. And this applies to most people. Most people don't have a clue. Prabhupada explains the covering potency of Maya is that the person is miserable, but he thinks he's happy. We tell them material life is miserable. It's an ocean of birth and death, old age and disease. There is dukkha, adi adhyatmika, adi bhautika, and adi devika. Misery is from nature. Misery is from of the body and the mind. Misery is from other living entity. But the living entity says, despite all that, I'm still happy the way I am. This is called covering potency. Now, Krishna is Maya-dhamana. It is very difficult actually to get out of the potency of Maya, which is covering, and especially when we try to become devotees, the throw-in potency of Maya. Why? Because Maya's job is to test us. Because when we go back to Krishna, when we go back home, back to Krishna Loka, we have to be qualified. So for that, we have to pass various tests. So Maya will test us. Some tests will pass, some tests will fail, some tests will fail again and again and again. Some tests will pass, a higher test will come that we may fail. So we have to perpetually and continuously introspect. Where did I go wrong? What can I do different to rise above these weaknesses I have of my own heart? Krishna says to Arjuna, Shaudram hridaya daurbulyam tyaktvottishtaha parantapa. Give up this petty weakness of heart, O Arjuna, and rise and fight or chastise our enemy. This is the war against Maya, and Maya is constantly putting her throwing potency and the covering potency on us. Especially for devotees, it's the throwing potency. And so we have to always be alert. We have to pray earnestly to even Maya Devi that, oh, Maya Devi, we are worshipping your Supreme Lord, who is Maya-dhamana, who is controller of you. Please make us, make your test easy on us. Don't be so harsh on us. If we can submit like this, then hopefully Maya Devi will, not trouble us so much. But if we, stand up and we say, no, I can overcome anything, any weakness of heart I can overcome, then the test, guess what, will be harder. It is easier to go with the current than to fight the current. So some battles worth fighting, some not so worth fighting. I mean, this is a whole subject matter of its own. But as I was mentioning yesterday, if simply we internalize our devotional service, Krishna is in the heart, it's very simple. And we look towards Krishna always within our heart and just pray to Krishna, Krishna, please guide me. My path is difficult. I'm not strong. I will fall again and again. But you please pick me up again and again. You are my mother. You are my father. Please show me mercy. Show me kindness. I'm not strong-willed. I don't have enough Shakti to fight these forces of my mind, my senses, and so and so. And in this way, if we continuously and earnestly pray, Srila Prabhupada says our chanting of Hare Krishna mantra should be like the crying of a child. Then we can find that constantly the senses, the mind is internally drawn, and that's where we find a place of Krishna consciousness. Then nothing externally that happens. People may say good things, bad things, there may be calamity going on around us. We become then immune. Misery exists, but by Krishna consciousness and internalizing our Krishna consciousness, like Brahmaji says, how we internalize Tattenukampam susamikshamano. Bhunjana evatma kritam vipakam. That whatever miseries we undergo, but our focus is namaste. We continuously do devotional service, waiting for Krishna's mercy patiently. That is called the way of internalizing our devotional service to Krishna. I'm so sorry, I've gone over time. I'm sure devotees would have some questions. So tomorrow's session will start with some questions on this subject matter. So if you have any questions, please you can ask them. Jai Granthra Srīmad Bhāgavatam ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Have a wonderful Krishna conscious day. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you, Prabhu.